What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to analyze the tape of rookie guard slash tackle Tyler Steen. He took reps at both guard and tackle, but he started at left tackle. Today we're going to analyze his tape. This is a guy that I'm very, very high on. I think he's going to be a very good offensive lineman in the NFL. I do project him to be the future starting right guard as Kelsey retires and Cam Jurgens can go back to his natural position as center. But I'm very excited to analyze the tape. Right away, you're going to see a defensive line game on the fourth play of the game by the Baltimore Ravens. And you got David Ojabo, a second-round pick. That's going to be one of the two guys that runs this game. And you see Tyler Steen do a really nice job picking it up, keeping the quarterback clean. And these are some of the reps that I think make this guy a really good football player. He's smart. He's fast as hell out of his stance. You see that right away. You can do the double tap with the right foot. 1, 2. Before the left foot comes down. It's impressive in my opinion. And from there, look at how quickly he recognizes the game. Number 90 slightly goes to the inside, and Steen quickly turns back to the inside. Great job by the left guard to keep the hands fully extended on number 94. Steen's going to take over, set him up to the inside. Just like that, you got a winning rep by the rookie offensive lineman. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. I think it's very important to understand that David Ojabo is a guy that's a very good pass rusher. A teammate of Aiden Hutchinson back at Michigan. Really good football player. And Tyler Steen's coming in here and doing some really nice things. Now, Ojabo here is going to spin to the inside, which in itself is a really, really nice move. And he does initially get Steen on this. He's going to set it up, spin, and he's in a winning spot right now. To me, when you look at this play right here, when Ojabo spins to the inside and he gets that right arm on the backside right there, to me, that's the leverage you need to be able to hit this to the inside. But Tyler Steen does a fantastic job recovering. Look at this. He sets himself right back up in front of Ojabo, recovers, and the quarterback's able to roll out. And the quarterback in this instance is going to pick up 14 yards. That's a really, really impressive rep by a young player. You go from a losing rep to a winning rep. That's the type of stuff that I like to watch. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. Watch the vertical set here by the tackle. He's going to be explosive in his stance. He's going to set up, hit the landmark well before Ojabo's able to kind of get there, and he wins the rep. Once again, a really, really nice explosive rep. One of the things with Steen that you have to keep in mind is he's very consistent with his technique. He's very, very, very good in terms of not lunging when guys are trying to utilize the different pass rush moves. And this is impressive by Ojabo. You know, that last spin that we looked at was a spin to the inside. This time it's a spin to the outside. But again, Steen's able to handle all these different things, right? Not every single defensive end has the ability to spin inside and outside. Ojabo's one of those guys that does. And Tyler Steen handles it perfectly, in my opinion. Now, if this is the first time you're on this channel, do understand we don't only look at positive reps. I think to be fair and unbiased, you have to look at the losing reps. In this instance, you have a losing rep here. He's going to basically get bull rushed right back into the quarterback. And this is one of the concerns I had with Steen kind of coming out of college, specifically if he was going to be an NFL tackle. Keep in mind, he may not be a future left tackle. I think he's more likely to be the future right guard. I think he'll redshirt this season unless, of course, an injury were to happen and he was asked to kind of step in. But I think one of the things with tackles is you got to be long and you got to be lengthy and you got to have that arm length, right? I think it's one of the important factors of playing tackle. Now, you can definitely get around it. We've seen Rashawn Slater get around it. But do understand, Slater is the exception. He is not the rule. In this instance here, you see Jeremiah Moon, who is 6'5", long, lengthy defensive end, get inside of Steen, and he's going to basically outreach him. So this is kind of what you would see with guys that aren't maybe as long. Doesn't mean that he can't be a tackle, right? It just means he has to continue to get stronger. He has to continue to put on weight. And that's generally where rookies are able to develop going into year 2, right? They get stronger, they get faster, they get quicker. Their mental process speeds up. Although I can already tell, Tyler Steen is a very smart football player. His mental processing is very, very, very high. Again, just wanted to point out this losing rep, but it's not a big deal, right? It is still his rookie season. It is still his very first ever NFL action. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Man, talk about flying out of your stance. This guy's fast as hell. Look at this. He's out of there. When the ball gets snapped, he's the first one out of his stance. He's getting depth. He's getting vertical. He's reaching his landmark. And that's one of the things I really, really like with this guy. And he's very technically sound, and it is clear as hell. It's a nice rep right there that kind of anchored down. It was a quick throw, but let's go ahead and get to the next rep. Check this rep out. Play does lose a yard, but god damn, look at the physicality by Tyler Steen. I mean, he absolutely crushes Tavius Robinson, the edge defender, on that one. I mean, to me, this is absolutely beautiful. Get out of your stance, find that guy you need to make contact with, and put it all right into him. Bam! I love that physicality right there. To me, that's a beautiful rep by the rookie offensive lineman. Physical, tough as hell. That's a nice play right there. Love the leverage as he makes contact with that edge defender. You see him really dip and get low. Powerful. Absolutely love that crushing block. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. I want to show you guys this rep once again. You got to do a better job anchoring down. Although he is able to kind of stop him towards the end of this play, you got to give up less depth, right? So as the rookie tackle here makes contact with the jawbone, you need to anchor down within the next yard or two. You can't be pushed back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps the way he does in this instance. You got to anchor down quicker. Again, a full off season of working out is going to do this guy wonders, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Check the rep out. Ajabo's going to get out of his stance. He's going to fake hezzy to the inside. He's going to cross chop to the outside. And Tyler Steen's going to shut it all down. This right here is a really, really nice rep. Again, it just kind of puts everything together from start to finish. You know, the thing that I really, really cannot underestimate how impressive it is he explodes out of his stance. I mean, he's going before the ball's even snapped, right? And that does not matter. I know some people are going to say, oh, it's a false start. He moved before the ball. The quarterback's saying hut, and he is going when the quarterback says hut or hike or whatever he is in his cadence. And the left tackle is hearing that. He's exploding out of his stance. You see the right tackle do the same thing. This is not a false start. It'll never be called 100 out of 100 times. So not only is he getting out of his stance and exploding and getting to his landmark and setting up, but then you see that Ajabo's going to fake to the inside right there with the little head. Back it up. Fake to the inside. He's going to jump to the outside and use the left hand to attack the outside hand of Steen. It doesn't work, right? It just does not work because this guy's very, very fundamentally sound. He's not going to let the little fakes and the hezzies and the ghost moves, he's not going to let those things impact him. The way other rookies may panic a little bit and it may impact them, it doesn't do that to Steen. And he's going to basically get both hands right to Ajabo and he's going to shut this down. This guy is very, very impressive on tape. Arguably one of the better rookies that I've seen so far. Of course, fit's going to be a big part of that as well, and we'll see how this kind of continues. Let's go ahead and actually just switch focus now and go from watching his reps at left tackle to his reps at right guard, because I do think naturally he's going to project more as a guard in the NFL, and sometimes it only takes 1 or 2 reps to know if a guy's good or not. And this is the instance where you only need to see 1 rep, and I don't say that lightly. You know, watch a lot of offensive line tape, a lot of defensive line tape. One of the key factors of an offensive lineman being good is their understanding of body positioning. I think it's a big part of being a good offensive lineman. In this instance, look at him turn and seal off number 95. That's fan-freaking-tastic because the running back has a natural lane right to the outside of Steen now. And this is some of the little things that I think really stick out to me on tape that allow me to realize that this guy's a good football player. Right, and we already seen his reps at left tackle. We know the processing power. We know his pass blocking abilities, how quick, consistent he is. Do keep in mind there's a big difference between playing guard and tackle. As a guard, you're oftentimes playing in shorter space. You know, maybe a down block here, maybe an out block here. Maybe you got to reach and cut off a linebacker. But everything is going to be pretty much in a short space because you have a guy to the left of you and a guy to the right of you. As a tackle, it's much different. As a tackle, yeah, you have a guy to one side of you, but then there's nothing out here. A guy could come out here and you're forced to kind of match that. And now there's so much space between you and the next closest guy. So it's a completely different ballgame playing guard versus tackle. But still, we saw Steen do a lot of really, really, really impressive things as a tackle. He comes in as a guard. Keep in mind, guard is easier, right? Because you don't have to be as athletic. And you see him do plays like this. This is literally the second play at guard that he played, right? So to me, this is damn impressive to watch, to be able to see, to analyze. Let's go ahead and get to the next rep. So you got a dual concept here between the right tackle, right guard, center, left guard. And it almost seems like Steen processed this to the wrong linebacker. I don't think he was supposed to block this up to 40. I think he should have gotten up to 53. And I say that because 53 is basically going to go unblocked and he's going to blow this play up. But you see Steen get into number 98. And then from there, he's going to go up to number 40. But I don't think that was correct, right? 53 is unblocked. 53 makes the play. At the same time, you can see the double team block here leads up to the safety here. And the way it should have worked is the double team between these two guys should have went up to number 40. So I think Steen makes a mistake here. Not a big deal, right? He'll watch the tape. He'll get coached into what he needed to do versus what he actually did. He'll go to Stoutland University and he'll be taught exactly what it is that he needs to look for, what he needs to key in on. Not a big deal at all, but I did want to just point it out. Let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Watch the grip strength here on Travis Jones, who in my opinion is a pretty good defensive tackle. 9-yard run right here. Great job by Steen to stick with number 98. Massive football player, strong as hell. Can move people off the line of scrimmage. One of those defensive tackles that is hard to move. And Steen isn't moving him to the left of the screen, right? 98 is obviously moving himself to try to stay within the run fit. But what Steen does do is he doesn't let 98 off, right? 98 has to create that separation, and Steen doesn't allow it to happen. He stays with the block. He has his grip to the inside, which is not a hold. And you see that the running back's going to be patient, and he's going to pick up 9 yards on this play. So that's a great job by the entire offensive line. So I think one of the big things with Tyler Steen is I think he has to get stronger, and obviously he will get stronger going from year 1 to year 2. It is fact every single player gets stronger, especially on the offensive line. Really nice job beating number 98, right? 98 is going to get him a little early on this play. All right, number 98 is going to use the right arm here. He's going to try to fork up Steen, get him out of the way. He's going to bring left arm over the top. And he does have inside leverage slightly on this play, but Steen's going to basically move that body, get it right back in front of 98 as he does right there, and he's going to push him out of the way. Jones is going to jump up on this play, and from there, you got to punish these guys. If they're going to leave their feet, you put them into the ground. You throw them, and in this instance, Tyler Steen does just that. You see, Jones is tossed to the side there, and this is a good job recovering. Again, yes, the early part of the rep does lose it. You do want to anchor down. In the instance, you don't want your quarterback to feel that pressure, especially right in the middle of the pocket. Not a big deal. I think Travis Jones is going to be one of the better defensive tackles this season. I think he's going to break out. 3rd round pick from last season. But these are some of the things that I think Steen just has to continue to work on, continue to develop. But you can definitely see the flashes. Watch the leverage by Steen on this play. Watch him get underneath number 98. And watch him drive him into the ground. Beautiful rep. Clearing the way. Only a 3-yard gain by the running back, but still really nice job by Steen to be able to take a good defensive tackle and move him. And the fact that we're seeing him do this against a guy like Travis Jones, the fact that we saw him do this against guys like David Ajabo, who is likely going to start for the Baltimore Ravens, or at least play a shit ton of snaps this season. The fact that we're seeing this guy have really good reps against some really good football players really fires me up to watch the development of Tyler Steen. Check out the defensive line game here and watch Steen and the right tackle here process this together, pick it up, switch, and shut it down. And the thing with this play is it's a lot harder for Tyler Steen than it is for the right tackle. And the reason why is because Steen has to take his guy first, and he has to fully pass his guy off, right? He has to make contact with 91. And he has to pass him off to the right tackle and make sure that the right tackle has him before coming off and getting back to number 56. And he makes it look effortlessly, right? And this is partly why I think the Eagles really like Tyler Steen and why I think he's going to have a lot of really good seasons coming up probably pretty shortly if you ask me. You know, it's interesting when Tyler Steen was over at tackle, he was getting vertical, he was exploding out of his stance. And here at guard, you know, he's doing different things. He's not getting vertical the way he was as a tackle, but he is mixing up his pass sets. You know, sometimes he'll 45-degree set. In this instance, he's going to take the fight right to number 60, the D tackle. And he's really just changing it up. Bam! Super quick, super fast. Hits the defense tackle here. And he basically shuts it down. I mean, to me, this is a really nice, quick rep. Get those hands right to number 60. Really nice rep. Let's go ahead and get to the next play. Now, I want to end the video with this final rep here. You know, Pro Football Focus said that Tyler Steen gave up a sack, and I actually also saw this trending on Twitter a little bit where people were talking about it, that Tyler Steen gave up a sack. This is the play where he apparently gave up a sack. And you guys tell me, I mean, yeah, technically he gave up a sack, but at the same time, you also brought 2 guys. And he made a last-minute decision to try to take the threat towards the inside because that's the guy that's more likely to get to the quarterback. If he really wanted to, he could have just continued the rep as he was and just picked the defensive end up. Just let number 40 go, right? But really what he was trying to do in this instance was give his quarterback the most possible time. And in that instance, he tried to pick up number 40. It is a hard task because he is getting vertical out of his set. All right, he's getting vertical. He's taking on a wide 9 defensive end. So he really needs to get depth in his set. So to go from that to get back to number 40, who's blitzing that gap of the outside of that guard, it's a very, very hard task, right? So with that, you can say he gave up a sack on this play. I would say that he just tried to do what he thought was the best possible situation because he could have easily taken on a Jabba and just stuck with the Jabba. Like, there's no reason why he had to go down to number 40. He could have stuck with the defensive end. He chose not to do that, and to me, this also kind of shows the mental IQ of a football player who understands that it's not just about his responsibility. There are guys out there who will just do their job, and they won't think twice about possibly doing something extra that may impact the play, even if it means that their responsibility is something they kind of let go of, right? And that's a part of mental processing. That's a big factor of what scouts and general managers and coaches are looking for in their players. And with Tyler Steen, you see it, that in his very first ever game, the guy already is doing a lot of really, really good things. And I'm very excited to continue watching him as he develops. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. We will be following the Philadelphia Eagles in both Jalen Carter, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens is apparently going to start at right guard. And I'm very fired up. We do O-line and D-line content on this channel. So subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I'll see you guys next time with another video.